What's going on, everybody? Scott Hoffner here at Didi's downtown, where it all goes down. And I'm about to show you how to rub up these prime briskets that we got that we're getting ready to put on the smoke. These briskets now, after being trimmed, have been they've rested for 45 minutes to an hour. I like to let them get closer to room temperature before I put them on the grill. It's one of the few pieces of meat that you can do that with. And think of it like this. If you take a cold piece of meat and you put it on heat, think about how your body would react, right? You'd be like, what just happened? I went from cold to hot. And so the whole thing seizes up. The meat will seize, and so by letting it be room temperature, it's like a relaxed piece of meat on the smoker. And the smoking process is a very relaxed, long process. So we want everybody to be happy before it goes in there. So we're gonna make our spice rub, okay? I like to keep mine very simple. People use all kinds of craziness and mustards and rubs and mops and this, that, and the other. I'm from Texas. There's a man by the name of Aaron Franklin, and he's a total purist and very good at what he does. He uses just salt and pepper. I use salt and pepper as my base, and I add a couple things. So here's a nice coarse ground black pepper. I use a little bit of garlic powder. I just like garlic powder. Kosher salt, nice thick, beautiful coarse salt. Equal parts pepper, equal parts salt. Here's just a little bit of a rub that I use that I like a lot. This is a very small amount of something called Morita powder. It's a smoked chipotle. I use just a little of it for tinge. I use a little bit of white pepper. And this is turmeric. Now I know some people are freaking out. They're like, I can't believe you're using turmeric. I like the flavor profile that it leaves, and I like the color that it gives the bark. By the way, turmeric is really, really good for your whole body. And you want to, when you do this, you got to mix it up super good. And remember that the salt and pepper, salt is heavier than the pepper, so it'll sink down to the bottom. So I like to do a pretty liberal spread on it. You got to get, if you haven't done this a lot, using a shaker like this, like a powdered sugar shaker, could be really helpful to you. So you have an even distribution of seasoning and spice. It's important. You don't want more of it seasoned than the other. So I put my hand down here, and I use it as like a little guide. So I'm getting the crust on the sides of the meat as well. And then I'll come over the top again. Some people use just tons and tons of seasoning. I like to put a liberal amount on, but really the key to brisket is letting the meat do the talking. You know, you have a nice brisket. Once the sugars and the breakdown of the fat, see that color, that turmeric gives it a little bit of a neat color. And we got everything done over on this side. We'll flip her over. Do the exact same thing. I catch with my hand. I'm going down that side. These sides are real important. You want them evenly distributed over it. Then you come back over, right? A little more. And then you're going to come down this side again from both sides, where you get the tops and the bottoms. Now that I've flipped it, I always go fat side up. Give it a little extra just because I flipped it over. And then I'm going to do that for all of these briskets. So this is how you get the start going for your rub. After I put this on, I'm going to let them sit for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to put them on the smoke. And we're going to let them go, babies. We're going to let them go.